Morning, guys. Today is the episode 96 with ADHD and perfect pitch debate or new topics. All right, so let's get into it. Perfect pitch versus relative pitch, which I talked about before. So perfect pitch is also known as absolute pitch and is the ability to identify a note without seeing how it was played or without comparing it to another note. People with perfect pitch can also reproduce a note on cue by singing. However, relative pitch is the ability to identify the pitch or notes in relation to their notes. They need a relation note, I guess that's what it's called. For example, someone with relative pitch can use solfège to identify the tonic note of a note and then recognize the other pitch in the melody. Relative pitch is more common and can be developed in adults, rather than perfect pitch, which you can develop only 3 to 5. Most people say no more than 3 years old. So. All right, so a small minority of musicians, however, can identify all the notes absolutely, each in isolation without reference to any other note. In other words, they possess some sort of internal template, a stable representation of pitches, to which they can compare the incoming signal and subsequently identify the notes by name, by sounding them on an instrument or other responses. This is referred to as perfect or absolute pitch. That's a really, really good definition I found. All right, perfect pitch versus pitch perfect. I didn't know. Pitch perfect is the ability to identify a musical note without reference, while pitch perfect is an expression. That means something is flawless or exactly right. So I don't really hear people saying pitch perfect when I do research on these topics. So if you're a musician, you know it's not pitch perfect. That's not the right word. All right, MRI imaging of perfect pitch musicians. MRI studies have shown that the brain of people with perfect pitch differ from those of people without perfect pitch in several ways, including asymmetry of the planum temporal. Musicians with perfect pitch have a stronger leftward asymmetry in the planum temporal, a brain area that contains the auditory association cortex. Second, larger auditory cortex. Third, increased connectivity. This is the most interesting part for me. Musicians with perfect pitch have increased connectivity in the bilateral superior temporal lobe structures. And they also actually have in the center, which is what I want. Nobody can have it. Oh my God, my teeth are ridiculous. All right, so larger area of brain stimulation. During MRI, people with perfect pitch show larger area of brain stimulation, particularly in the auditory cortex and the primary auditory center. Here are some of the other findings from studies of the brain and the perfect pitch. The ability of process frequencies is the key to perfect pitch. Differentiation in size between the left and right sides of the brain seems to occur between 29th and 31st week of gestation. So some people say that, some research say that you're born with it. Some say that you can develop until 3 to 5. So I believe both. It can definitely happen. Genetic plays a big role. People who have perfect pitch can identify pitches effortlessly and immediately. I can't say pitches because my fucking teeth is missing. People with perfect pitch report having made no special effort to develop their ability. It's a natural instinct. It's nothing that it is developing it young, so it's naturally there. It's effortless. It comes naturally, and that's just how it is. So a combined musical language, such as Asian languages, can help musicians develop perfect pitch. So the 22% in the research, most generally and most updated ones in the world that has perfect pitch, I think that's underestimating, a lot of the Asian countries who does not do perfect pitch tests or anything like that. All right, so can the perfect ear be developed? Perfect pitch can be learned, but it takes an incredible amount of time and effort. The ability is difficult to obtain unless you learn it before the age of 3 to 5, when the part of the brain associated with acquiring verbal skills develops rapidly. With ADHD's photographic memories, the inattentiveness superpowers that tunes into musical naturally and instinctively for people that have perfect pitch, the combination of ADHD and perfect pitch can be super powerful. there is a big section that I missed about this. Actually, no, I did everything. All right, well, everything is under the description as well. It's the source from NCBI. Thank you very much, and have a great day.